We're going to talk about, the book calls it standard form, but that's the Singapore way of calling it. Here in America, we call it scientific notation. Here in the States, when we say standard form, we mean just write it like a regular number. Now, I cannot remember off the top of my head, but I think we are 1,700,000 kilometers away from the sun. And that's like the closest sun to our planet, if you think about. So that's well, kilometers, I guess. Oh, well. I could be wrong. Let me double check just to be on the safe side. What are you laughing at? No laughing. I could be very, very wrong. It's been a while since I've looked that up. But that number, by the way, is just a million. That's a big number. If you have all those zeros, when you write these numbers out, we don't want to write out zeros all the time because it just takes up time. So what we want to do is write it in a way, especially if you're an astronaut, you're going to be dealing with numbers like this or much, much bigger. So they want to make the numbers or the writing as easy as possible. So what they do is look at this and say, we got so many zeros there. And I don't want to have to deal with those zeros because the key numbers are the 1 and the 7. And because how many fingers do we have on our hands and thumbs? We got 10. So we like to deal with numbers between 1 and 10 because it's easy to do this, right? I have $1 in my pocket. I owe $4 to my whatever. So like numbers that you can count in your hand are nice. So where would I put a decimal point to make that number between 1 and 10? Right there. So 1.7. But 1 million kilometers is a lot different than 1 kilometer, right? So we have to let people know, like, 1.7, what place value is that? So if I look at the place value, where's the, basically I want to know how many spots from this point to where the point went over here. So I want to know how many times did I have to move that point?
6 times.
Yeah, if I look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we don't write down 1.7 with the decimal point moved over 6 times because that's a lot more writing than 1,700,000, right? Would you want to write down 1.7 with the decimal point moved over 6 times to the left? Is that a lot easier than writing this?
No.
No. So they just say, when we talk about place value, our place value is, we call it the ones place value, then the, and then the, and then the. How do you get from a 10 to 100? Multiply by what? By 10. How do you get from 100 to 1,000? Multiply by 10. So our decimal value is based on the number 10. So you just multiply times 10. How many times did I move it over?
6 times.
Right there, boom. So we use 10 because we use its base 10. We have 10 fingers. So it's a base 10. Then we had to move it 6 places over. So this just tells you the number of places you move the decimal point. And we'll just say if that's a positive number, it's a number bigger than 1. If we have a number like this, 0.000836. Now this number is not bigger than 1, is it? It is smaller than 1, isn't it? How do I know? Because the ones place says 0. There's not even 1 in there. So how would I write this? Where would I write my decimal point here? Right there, yes? Because again, we want a number between 1 and 10. Now we'll say, since we're dealing with decimal numbers, it's times 10. How many places did I move it over? Wait, where did I move it? Right here, yeah? So how many places did I move it over? 4 times. Now I don't want to write a positive 4 because our number is a lot smaller. We actually had to move it to a different place. So we write down a negative 4. So we moved the point 4 times, in this case, to the right. That way we moved it to the left. So, just a quick little review. This number should be what? Between what two numbers? So it should be between 1 and 10. That number tells you how many times you move the point. And if it's a negative exponent, what does that mean? Is the number bigger than 1 or smaller than 1? Smaller than 1. If I look at this one, that exponent's positive, which means the number is bigger than 1. And is 1,700,000 bigger than 1? No? I'm already going to give you enough for that quiz. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see any other videos, here is one that you might be interested in. This one right here was my latest video. Now, if you really like these videos, you might want to subscribe so you can